All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakah Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. This is going to be a lesson on how if we analyzed this current society by the laws of Yahweh, would this kingdom be able to stand, or would it be justified that this kingdom falls, right? And I'm going to go to a couple of scriptures and explain why I'm saying this, man. This is Sirach chapter 10 and verse 8. Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. So every single kingdom that you can think about in the past, right, that's fell away. The reason for it falling away is because it had injuries, it did unrighteous dealings, meaning it broke the laws. It had injuries, meaning it didn't have justice, right? Riches got by deceit, oppressing another group of people and deceiving them in order to get yourself built up, man. And the scriptures speak about war unto those that build a city with blood and different things of that nature, man. Right? The kingdom is translated from one people to another. Right? So that's the reason why the kingdom always falls away from one people's hands and gets given into another's. And if we was to assess this current society by the standard that Yahweh gave, where would it fall? Now let's go into just the 10 commandments to start with, right? This is Exodus chapter 20 and verse 1. And God spake all these words, saying, I am Yahweh thy power, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage, right? And these are going into the commandments now. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Now, does America have other gods before Yahweh? Yes. Does England have other gods before Yahweh? Yes, it does. Verse 4, thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image, nor any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Now, England tries to make it like it's a righteous country. And whenever you have these Edomite Christians talking with one of these Ishmaelite Muslims, right, they always try and say things like, oh, it's a Christian country, it's a Christian country. But then these same people, when they see Hebrew Israelites, they can't say nothing, because the Hebrew Israelite knows that that Christian does not really follow the customs of the Bible, right? They don't really follow the customs of the Bible, and they'll do something like, in order to show a Muslim, they might eat pork to show that they're Christian, when according to the Bible, you're not supposed to eat that, right? They have gods before Yahweh. They don't really believe in Yahweh, man. They've made up their own version in their mind about what the God of the Bible is about, and they've used certain scriptures and made up a whole doctrine to deceive people into thinking that the God of the Bible allows that kind of thing when he don't. Leviticus, the 11th chapter and the 7th verse says you're not supposed to eat pork. You're not supposed to eat swine. But they do it anyway. Verse 5, thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them, for I, Yahweh, am a jealous power, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me. So these Edomites can't be trying to say, oh man, that was our forefather, mate. He says he visits it unto the children, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation. So you're guilty as well, man. You're guilty as well. You're guilty too. Verse 6, and they hate Yahweh. Verse 6, and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. But the Christians say that you're not supposed to even do that. They say it's done away with. They say, oh, we don't need to keep the dietary laws, because that was only given to the house of Israel. But who was this given to? Who was the 10 Commandments given to? Was that not only given to Israel too? So their whole doctrine, when you really actually deep to how it is, it don't make no sense, man. They don't know what they're talking about. They really don't know what they're talking about. Oh, the laws, them laws was only given to the royal house seed of Israel. We only have to keep the 10 Commandments. Well, that was only given to Israel as well. Oh well. It is what it is at the end of the day. We're gonna have to agree to disagree. That's all they can say, man. Verse 7, thou shalt not take the name of Yahweh in thy power in vain, For Yahweh will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain. And they did that. They've mocked the name of Yahweh. You've got this demon vocab Malone. He's tried to mock the name of the Lord, man. Right? He'll try and say that the name of the Lord don't matter what he call it in one breath. But then when he hears that we believe that the name of the Lord is Yahweh and that the name of his son is Yahweh Shai, he'll mock it. Trying to do comedy skits when he's not funny. He's not funny. Right? He can't rap. Right? He's really depressed from the assignment that he was given to try and come up against the Hebrew Israelites. So he's trying to find a lane to try and make it fun for himself, but it's not fun for him no more. And he wants to just be the demon that he is, but he's having to fake righteousness, man. He's not righteous, right? All he does is he's a hypocrite, right? All he does is finds out things about us saying, oh, it don't matter that we're Israelite. But then every single time now, he's bringing on people and saying that they're Israelites. And ain't asking them none of the questions that he asked us to prove that we are. He ain't asking them for no DNA test, right? And even if he did, and they did have a DNA test that said that the Israelites, well, who's the foundational thing that they're using to prove that that's an Israelite? Some other Edomite faking to be an Israelite as well. That's claiming that they're Israelite. A DNA test ain't gonna prove nothing, even if they did do one. But the point I'm making is that they don't say the same things to them as I say to us. Now let's get to this verse 8. Remember the Sabbath to keep it holy. Now this society, in all of these Western societies, man, these Western countries, they don't design their society based on being able to keep the Sabbath, do they? They don't make it be. They have 24/7 stores, 24/7 McDonald's, 24/7 Walmart, 24/7 Asda, right? 24/7 drive-through. 24/7 you're working. You know what I mean? They don't change the company around based on the Sabbath. They don't do that. They don't say, okay, the new moon's coming up. We're having a day off. We'll see you all when the sun rises up, the next time it comes up. They don't say that. They say, nah, we need to get this work done. Here, in fact, overtime, mandatory overtime for everyone. That's the kind of thing that they'll do. Oh, we need to make these car parts mandatory overtime. Everyone has to stay back an extra hour. That's the kind of thing Esau will do. Verse 10. But the seventh day is the Sabbath of Yahweh. But the seventh day is the Sabbath of Yahweh, thy power. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, nor thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. But Esau don't do that. Esau puts pressure upon the land, man, scraping the soil every damn day of the week, making sure that people work to try and maximize efficiency. That's the kind of weasel terms he'll use. We're trying to maximize efficiency and I can't even think of the other word right now, man. It was on my tongue, but proficiency. I don't know, man. Who cares, man? Esau is a demon. That's the ultimate thing I'm trying to say, man. He pillages up the land, scrapes it up, soiling it 24/7, so he can get their mass product out of that. And really, he ends up getting less, because the scriptures speak about land Sabbaths too. But he don't know anything about that because he's a demon. He's the evil one. He's the evil son that came from Isaac, man. He's the other son. The other son of Isaac. The one that was a demon. Verse 12. Honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land, which Yahweh thy power giveth thee. Now, Esau ain't for damn sure don't do that. Right? Now, if people have got parents that have did evil to them, well, it will be harder for them to honor them. Right? Even among us Jakes, man. It will be harder for us to honor them, right? But sometimes if you're like how Esau would do, he'll curse his own parents out, man. Whereas if your parents have done a great evil towards you, you might have to just show them the honor from afar off, man. You might have to just show honor from afar. You know? But Esau in this society, the way how his society set up, he'll murk his own parents, man. Esau don't care about none of that. But then we're supposed to believe that they're righteous people. And now even some Jakes are doing that. Verse 13, thou shalt not kill. Esau loves a bit of that. That's one of his greatest pastimes, man. He's always thinking of covert and overt ways to do that, man. Spraying things over the sky, all kind of stuff. Crazy foods that you don't even know how much these foods have been altered and don't know what these things are doing to the body. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Man, Esau loves adultery, man. You got this demon, Adam 22, right? He's making a reality TV show where the winner gets to go on his wife. And he already before that gave his wife onto some male gigolo type geezer, man. Damn near. He already was down for that. You know? Esau loves adultery. The Edomite woman loves adultery. And the main person that she likes to try and commit adultery with is Jake. And assessing the society again, adultery for the most part occurs because of women's wickedness, man. That's the way how adultery occurs, because if women didn't want to commit adultery against their husbands, right, then men could not have committed adultery with another man's wife. They couldn't. And that's the only way how adultery is, because according to the Bible, men can have multiple wives. So if a man was to try and sleep with another man's wife and the wife wasn't down with it, well, then that would not be adultery. That would be something else entirely, right? Which is mentioned in Deuteronomy 22. It would be adultery in the terms of how the man slept with another man's wife, but the woman would not have committed adultery willingly. So that's a whole nother situation that has a completely different judgment, man. A completely different judgment. But in this world, these women are down for adultery, man. They're down for that. These women will just be on the street. Somebody shows up with a camera. Next thing you know, they're saying, "Eh," and then they're brooking it out on the street, man. Wide ass stance, palms touching the floor, twerking up that thing, spinning it around in circles, man. And then their home girl comes up, starts slapping the cheeks. Just because there's a camera there. That's all they do, man. And that's me talking about Eve. Never mind the Edomite woman. She's a real demon. She'll be kissing the next man right while her husband's there, man. When you see some of these YouTube videos that they be putting out these days, where these people be doing all these interviews with all these drunk idiots that are on the street, they'll just be doing, these people are evil, man. They got spirits on them, man. And adultery is a heavy sin that's committed by women, man. Any woman that slept with more than one man in her life, and both men are still alive, you've committed adultery. So don't get on a high horse acting like you're righteous. Don't get on a high horse acting like you're some righteous woman, right? Because you're not, right? Because that, according to the Bible, is a sin unto death, right? And then even us as men, if we've slept with any woman that has slept with another man before and that man's still alive, then we've committed adultery too. But not in the same way as what women do it. But where does it say in the Bible that there's a grading on the type of adultery? It doesn't. Adultery is adultery in the eyes of the Lord. So really, even we have to be humble when we understand that too. Right? We have to be humble. And that's why it's a good thing that we've got grace, man, because that's the kind of thing that grace covers. Grace don't cover you just running up in a store, stealing and saying, "Oh, but I got grace though, so I'm going to be forgiven for that." Verse 15, thou shalt not steal. In this world, that happens all the time, man. Esau steals lands. Here it is, they're doing a big campaign in America talking about, oh, give them back, give them their land, they deserve it, from 3,000 years ago. But when it comes to Atlantic slave trade, they're talking about, oh, get over it. That was 400 years ago. Well, you're saying that these people deserve this land because of something that happened 3,000 years ago, right? And you're going out of your way to fight so that they get that, right? But then you're hearing us say that we're the Israelites, and you're saying, nah, I don't believe that's true. I don't think that actually matters whether you are or not. Well, say it to them then as well. Say it to them too. Unless, of course, you're a hypocritical demon, which you are. Right? Which they are, man. Verse 16, thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. They love to bear false witness against us. False witness is something done majorly all over the earth, man. And I don't like that, man. I really don't like somebody that bears false witness, man. I've got a disgust to that in my heart, man. When somebody bears false witness, man. That's how they did Yahweh Shai. They bared false witness on Yahweh Shai to cause Yahweh Shai to be put to death, man. And that's what they're gonna do to us in that time, man. From the lowest person that believes in Yahweh Shai to the highest person. Oh, you know what? I saw him doing this one time. Yeah, officer, I saw it. I saw it too. Yeah, and I saw him too. And me as well. Me as well. When they all know that you never did nothing what they said. But they're going to say, I seen him do it. I was there. Yeah, it happened on a Tuesday. What time did you say it happened? Yeah, it happened. That's exactly the way I saw it happen too. They're going to bear false witness, man. Jacob gets bear false witness bearing them all the time. People just be lying on us, man. Here it is, the guy might be an Amazon delivery driver. And the woman's going to come up talking about how he was acting suspicious. I'm call the cops on him. Oh, there's a strange black man delivering packages to people's house. Ma'am, do you think he's a delivery driver? Nah, he ain't. He's acting suspicious. I think he's got a gun. They're just gonna lie. They're just gonna lie, man. False claims, false everything, man, about us all the time. But the scriptures say you're not supposed to bear false witness. But when false witness gets made in this world, for example, when women accuse men of rape, right? And then it turns out that it's not true. And in fact, she was trying to keep hollering back at him, right? She dealt with him mutually, consensual. But then after, and she liked it so much, but she was trying to get another repeat prescription. But he didn't want none of that. He didn't want to have another go. So now she's bitter. And now she's talking about, oh, he did actually, this is what happened. This is how it went down, officer. When she knows it's a lie, well, according to the scriptures, whatever judgment you think's supposed to happen, that's what you're supposed to get now. And you know what? I'm going to get that law. Because that's a big law that's abused every day in this society, man. Women just getting away with lying on men. Men getting away with lying on men. Men getting away with lying on women. And it's disgusting, man. Deuteronomy chapter 19 and verse 16. If a false witness rise up against any man to testify against him that which is wrong, meaning you were saying someone did something and it's not true, then both the men between whom the controversy is shall stand before Yahweh, before the priest and the judges which shall be in those days. And the judges shall make diligent inquisition. And behold, if the witness be a false witness, and have testified falsely against his brother, then ye shall do unto him as he had thought to do unto his brother. So thou shalt put away the evil from among you, and those which remain and shall hear and fear, and those which remain shall hear and fear, and shall henceforth commit no more any such evil among you. So you're supposed to judge these people when they do these things, right? Because if you don't, the people's eyes are not going to fear. And that's why women don't have a problem running around bearing false witness, saying that things have happened to them. And then when women really have had that stuff happen to them, men don't believe it now. They're like, nah, you're a liar like the other woman. You're lying like that other woman lied. And then you've got some women out there that are saying that if a woman accuses a man of that he shouldn't say anything because women have gone through a lot. Huh? What are you talking about? That's not justice, is it? And that's why it sickens me that women even thinking to talk with their mouth and say that they want to be rulers of anything, man. Because they're not fair. They don't have a good moral compass, right? If it's a woman that's committed a crime, they instantly start thinking about if it was them in that position. They don't think justice first. They don't think, okay, this guy slept with another woman. Should he lose half his wages and all that, half his life's earnings and all that because he got with his woman? They'll say, yeah, he should. But they don't think, you know what does the scripture say? That he's allowed to have multiple wives. They don't think that. They don't think that. If a woman's been attacked, they don't think, well, I wonder what she did for that to happen to her. Was the man acting himself? They don't think about none of that. They think, A woman was hit, arrest him. They don't think fair. They don't think fair. They don't think justice, man. And that's another thing that shows that this society is not right and needs to fall. And it will. Verse 20, and those that remain shall hear and fear, and shall henceforth commit no more any such evil among you. And thine eye shall not pity, but life shall go for life. So if the person wanted you dead, then that's what's supposed to happen to them. Now, is that going to happen in this society? No. Right? Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, hand for hand, foot for foot. So if they said, he stole, man, he stole all my money, you know what? We should chop his hand off, If I catch him, I'm going to chop his hand off, And it turns out he never stole nothing. Well, you said it. You said what you think should happen. And that's why we have to watch our mouth, man. Because if you go about saying that someone's a demon, saying that someone's wicked and this and that, right? And saying and pointing to a specific person and saying this person's this, And then you get asked, well, what do you think should happen for that? For him being that then? Since you're saying is that, what do you think should happen to him? And then you speak out your mouth what you think should happen to him. And it turns out that that person's not that. Well, now you better pray to Yahweh that he don't make the judgment that you said should happen to you. And that's why it's funny that these people have been trying to say that we're demons and all of this stuff, and we're Pharisees and all this, and we're gonna this and we're gonna that, right? And that we ain't Israelites, we're this, we're imposters and all of that, we're Pharisee, right? They're saying all this stuff against us, against people that say that they're Israelites, right? But then when it turns out that we're not that, but you've been speaking out of your mouth either publicly or privately about what you think should happen to us, and it turns out it's not true, well, now the thing that you thought should happen to us is going to happen to you. It's going to happen to you all, man. But you don't think that, but you're going to see it though anyway. Exodus chapter 20 and verse 17, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house. Esau does that. You might not even have a good house, but Esau don't want us to have anything. You might just have a basic house, right, that you keep clean to a certain degree, you know what I mean? Because these houses that we have, they're jacked up, man, you know what I mean? But we might keep it clean. And Esau sees that you're happy to a certain degree. You know what I mean? You're not destitute and don't have nothing. And Esau will be miserable at that. He'll be like, man, you might get to move out of a rough neighborhood, right, by the skin of your teeth, into a neighborhood where these Edomites thought that they was doing it big. But then they see you there, and you've got your job and your career. You know what I mean? Your job that allows you to live there. And they've got their thing that they thought was so high. And they're like, what's he do? I wonder what he does for a living. And they're trying to weasel their way over to you, to try and find out how you make your money, in the hopes they can try and steal it somehow, man. Coveting. They might see your wife. They might have their woman that looks clapped off, right? So now they're like, his woman looks better than mine, man. I'm coveting that. I wonder what he's did. I wonder what he does for a living to get her. And now they're foaming at the mouth, trying to steal your portion of what God's gave you, man. Nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbor. So if your neighbor's got a nice fork in his cutlery container, man, you ain't supposed to want that, man. If he's got some nice shoes that you see, you ain't supposed to want no. Get your own shoes, man. You know what I mean? If his son's good at sports and your son's not good, you ain't supposed to cover that his son's skilled for your son. Train your son on sports or something then, man. You ain't supposed to covet our stuff. You ain't supposed to do that. This whole society is crumbled because people don't know what it actually is supposed to be, man. Women don't know what it's supposed to be according to how they're supposed to be in this world. Men don't do what they're supposed to do according to how they're supposed to be in this world. And the people that are the rulers, they love to have it that way because they can flow and flourish in a society that's wicked. Whereas a society that's righteous is against them and then will expose them that they are actually corrupt and bad. They're the problem. Right? And I'm going to end the lesson there, man. If you was to analyze this society through the scriptures, you will see that it is corrupt and you will understand why it needs to fall, man. Right? Shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel.